Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the show. I don't know, I get kind of confused. Do I call it the show or do I call it the channel? I guess I can call it either because it's the show that's on my channel. Either way, welcome. How's everybody doing tonight? Good, I hope. I had a pretty good day, man. It was absolutely gorgeous here today. Here for the last week or so, it's been like in the 30s, 40s, maybe. Today it was like almost 80 degrees here. It was really weird. That's Yeah, this weather is just blowing my mind. I mean, it goes from like almost freezing, and then 24 hours later, it's 78 degrees. That's just in November. That's just it's hard to understand, hard to predict. I'd hate to be a weatherman right now. I know that. Before we get started, can everybody hear me? Do I sound all right? Still getting used to this new whole microphone setup thing, so I got to make sure I'm doing it right. So if you can hear me okay, just press a number, any number. I don't care. All right. So I am being heard. Okay, let's see who we got in here. Georgia Peach, first again to the room. Debbie Sims, hello. Nikki, what's going on, Nikki? At In Between Prepping. Susanna, Rhyme of the Ancients. Ghetto, what's going on, brother? I feel pretty confident you'll probably end up here on this panel in a little while. Let's see. And that looks like everybody so far, maybe. The internet seems to be working a little bit better tonight. Yesterday was just horrible. Fox, what's going on, brother? How you doing? Tiger 454, hello. Good evening. Flintstone Girl, welcome. Yeah, we're populating the room pretty good. Of course, I figure we probably won't have a huge crowd tonight. I mean, like everybody's live right now. Some of the big names are live, so I know pinball. I think pinball goes hot at 8 p.m. And I know there's a little bit of crossover, but not much. But it won't hurt my feelings if you guys duck out for the famous people. That's all good. Not a big deal. Not a big deal at all. Yeah. So with the daily nugget that I've been doing, we've had some pretty good topics over the last 3 weeks. This is actually day 2 in week 4, so this is episode 17, I believe. Mad Shad, what's going on? Um, so the what I've been doing is members only live stream on Mondays at 6:45 before the 7:30 show, and I kind of hang out with the members for a while, and I bounce ideas back and forth off the members, and I actually let the members decide what the topic of discussion is going to be for the rest of the week's shows. I usually pick Mondays simply because it's really kind of hard to, you know, do a live stream and pick the show and then immediately do it following it. So I usually pick the topic for Mondays, and then the members help or actually do the picking for the remainder of the week on what we're going to talk about. And it's kind of cool because you're getting a lot of input and insight from other people, especially people that are invested in your channel. So, if I got a member and a member wants to talk about this or this or this, then obviously I'm going to make that a priority. And then right behind that, it's going to be any of the subscribers that have suggestions. And I'm definitely that'll be definitely the number 2 on the list of priorities. And even some people that aren't subs. I mean, if you're throwing good ideas and they work, I'll definitely look into it. Hello, Lynn. How are you doing tonight? Good to see you. Good to see you. Definitely. So, what we this week they swung for the fence. Um, I guess I kind of spurred them on with with last night's show, and so now I mean last night's show with the de-evolution of man. It gets deep after that. So, tonight's topic is going to be prejudice. Racial prejudice, prejudice in general, and it's going to be more of a I wouldn't necessarily say educational. It's more of it's kind of like the news, like the mainstream media nowadays. There's no such thing as news anymore because they don't give you both sides of the story. Right now, you're just watching nonstop CNN opinion pieces. It's what the reporter, what the editor, what it's the opinion they want you to accept in your brain as news and as reality. That's why you should unplug from that stuff immediately. But and hey, Ronnie Braun, what's going on? And a lot of that goes into the same category when you talk about specific words, because media has been able to basically redefine the words and strategically place them in certain places and give the illusion to society that these specific words mean something else or carry an alternate meaning along with them that can be interpreted along the way. So that's what we're going to talk about a little bit tonight, because the simple word prejudice is completely misconstrued. And there's a whole other side to that word and a whole other reason why it's there. And I think it needs to be addressed. And then let's see, tomorrow is Wednesday. Tomorrow the topic will be truth, or no, excuse me, trust. Yeah, trust. Thursday, Native Voice will be here with me, and I believe Susanna is going to join us as well. And the topic is going to be, yes, time travel. The ultimate prep is time travel. And we're going to explore all kinds of really fun stuff with that show. It's going to be a hoot on Thursday. And then Friday, we're going to wrap up the week with artificial intelligence, AI. My views on it, your views on it, Skynet, end of the world, whatever. We're just going to roll with it and see what happens. Militant Roots, what's going on? Welcome. So yeah, we got a busy week. And here's something else too. A lot of the times, I'm going to do the show a little bit different. I'm not going to go crazy in Googling different things. Angela B., North Carolina, welcome. Bug Dude, I'm not going to do the whole research stuff and spit out other people's information and other people's knowledge. I'm going to go just like you guys. I'm going to go with what I know about the topic and what I like the show to keep doing, which is what it has been doing for the last 3 weeks, is it's evolving into a conversation between me and you guys. And that's what I like, the way I like to keep it. Now, what do I know about prejudice? I'm going to talk about what I know about prejudice and about trust and about time travel and about AI. It doesn't mean it's all right. That's good. I may get some facts right. I may get some facts wrong. We may meet in the middle. We may agree. We may disagree. It is what it is. But now there are some things that I will research and look up and make sure I have facts, and that's going to be the foundation of what we're talking about. But as far as the opinions go, there's a reason they call it opinion. It's what you believe, So, and those are welcome here. Yankee Watchdog, what's going on? Matt Mortensen, welcome. So we see we got about 30 people in here. That's not too bad. The topic, obviously, racial prejudice. I was just going to put prejudice, but I threw racial in there simply because the picture that I found with the black eggs and the white eggs was like really awesome. That was like a really cool thumbnail. So it just fit with the term racial prejudice. Since Donna Divine Prepping, welcome. Since the media, and Monique's here, and Roots, what's going on, Roots? Since the media has taken the term prejudice and just run with it, and they use it in every single aspect of telling a story, lying on the news, spreading the disinformation or fact checking the disinformation that educated people like us actually believe and say and research. So my problem with the word prejudice, and I'm gonna just go ahead and start it off like this. Hey, Gareth Singleton, Leslie, give me liberty or death. Yeah, how you doing? I'm gonna go ahead and put it out there like this, because a lot of people that log in here, they're wondering what's he gonna say about prejudice and how's he gonna do it. Here it is. I think prejudice is an awesome word. Catching you by surprise? Here's the deal. To me, the word or term prejudice, it means to prejudge anything, to prejudge a situation, to prejudge a person, to prejudge a religion, to prejudge a store, to prejudge a vehicle that you're thinking about buying. It's a natural thing. It's part of the fight or flight reflex. It's part of stuff that you're born with. It's an autonomic reflex that you have no control over. Now, you can specifically sit down and look for reasons to be prejudiced, which falls into the line of racial prejudice. But the act of prejudging a situation is completely normal, and it's freaking awesome. It saves lives every day, and it is a vital part of your survival. It's part of your fight or flight reflex. A perfect example: if you're a single woman walking down the street in the middle of town, and all of a sudden the street lights go out on the side of the road that you're on, and there's a group of 4 or 5 guys that have obviously been drinking and they're hooping and hollering. They just left the bar. There's a pretty good chance you're going to cross the street and walk in the light. There's a pretty good chance you're going to think twice about cutting down a dark alleyway if you can just go down to the next intersection and go over. I mean, these things are all acts of prejudice. Everybody in this chat, everybody on the planet has probably committed at least one, if not 10 or 15 acts of prejudice today. Today. If you think about it, you have prejudged a situation, a person, a food, an act, something that you're going to do today. So it's, your outside influence comes in. If you're hearing over and over, if you're raised in a household that the only vehicle you've ever owned is a Chevy, that's the only thing you've ever driven, that's all your grandfather drove, that's all your father drove, that's all you've driven, you're not genetically, but you are prejudiced to that manufacturer of vehicle. Automatically in your head, if you see a Ford or if you hear Ford or you think about Ford, then automatically you draw on your past experiences hearing about the vehicles, and you always hear about the bad stuff, not the good stuff. Fords are crap. They always break down, found on the road daily. That's prejudice. You're being prejudiced against the vehicle. And the same thing applies to people being prejudiced against a race, a religion, a specific type of human being, person, or anything else. You can be prejudiced towards sports teams. You can be prejudiced towards anything. The problem is, here's the problem. The word prejudice can exist and function by itself. The word racial can and does exist and can function by itself. There's no need to put them together, even though being racial is a voluntary act of prejudice, being prejudiced. So they can work together, but they can exist separately. So, the thought of being prejudiced is not bad. It's when you mix race to it. That's a conscious decision to treat another race badly. That's discrimination, which is a bad thing. So and media, they love to use the word prejudice, and they love to use it with race. They love to divide people because nobody wants to report on a story where everybody's getting along, everybody's happy. There's got to be conflict. Conflict drives ratings. And what is more conflictory than racial prejudice? It just has to be racial prejudice. A white guy can walk into, an IHOP or a Denny's or a McDonald's with a semi-automatic weapon, with a bat, with a knife, with colorful words from the English language, and just start spreading them out around the room. And if there's one black person in the crowd, they will spin it as an act of race. And the other white people that were there that were accidentally hit, that was collateral damage. They will find the racial, that one little thread to make it a racial thing. Why? Because it drives the story. It drives media. Everybody just loves this whole race thing. I think it's the most childish, ignorant concept on the planet. Being racial that is the weakest. It's just weak. And I mean, for those of you that know me, I am biracial. I've got a few different races in me. I have biracial children. I have biracial grandchildren. I don't like one race more than the other. I hate everybody equally. Everybody starts in the shitter. You got to work your way up with me. I don't care what color you are. I don't care what you believe. I don't care what religion you practice. It is what it is. And, it works pretty good for me. That's the way I look at life. And I was born in 1969. I was raised in the 70s on the tail end of all the racial stuff and the tension in the country. And, I grew up seeing some really weird stuff. And I grew up being exposed to a country that had racial tensions, basically in its DNA. And it was a really weird time. But let me tell you something. And anybody else here in this room that's around the same age as me or even a little bit older, you can probably look back on those times and go, you know what? We got along better back then than we are getting along with right now. I mean, back then, all the issues that happened were legitimate issues that happened because of race. Now, the stuff that's being blamed on race is media driven bullshit. I mean, think about it. It is literally media driven bullshit. They are using race as a wedge to drive us apart, because if you can keep your population fighting each other, then they're not paying attention to what you're doing in DC behind closed doors. They're not paying attention to these laws that you're passing through the House that are like 15,000 pages long. Let me tell you something. There's not a law on the planet that has ever been written and ever been enforced that can't be summed up in about 5 pages, and that includes illustrations. Okay, so you guys need to get your shit together and get a little bit more organized, because the only reason they make it super, super thick with all these crazy made up legal words is because nobody understands it and nobody's going to take the time to read it. And number 2, nothing should be passed that wasn't not only read, but there should be a committee formed. They form committees on everything else. How about form a committee to read just 15,000 pages and let us know what's in it? Period. But they don't do that. It's black against white, brown against yellow. Everybody fight against everybody, and they just do what they want to do because, it's blood and circus. It's bread and circuses for them too. It's all about distraction, smoke and mirrors. It's ridiculous. I'm honestly, I'm a proud patriot. I serve my country. I love my country, but I'm gonna have to go ahead and say it. I mean, the republic has fallen. It fell a while ago. It's time to rebuild. It's time to just go ahead and burn it down and start over. Get some new blueprints, because everything is so corrupt right now. You can't fix the problem when the problem is the people that are supposed to be fixing it. It's supposed to be a government of the people, by the people, for the people. That's not what we have. I mean, the title politician is supposed to be, a public servant. You serve at the will of the people. That's what you're supposed to be. But now the title of being a politician is just, you scratch my back, I scratch yours. If you get into the special club, then you get to be, a millionaire. Why has there not been a nationwide governmental IRS audit on every single member of Congress, every single senator, governor, mayor, right on down the line? Your state tax auditors, your federal tax auditors. Why are they not auditing these people? Why can a government official's husband make a massive stock dump, drop, hedge, whatever they call it, less than 24 hours before something major happens in the stock market, and they capitalize to the tune of millions of dollars with insider trading information? Why is none of this being investigated? Why? They're all part of it. The people that are supposed to keep it legal and legit are just as dirty as the ones that are committing the crime. It's a club. They take care of each other. And, and that's the great part about the topic of this discussion, prejudice. They're being prejudiced against America, but yet they represent America. It's all for them. It's them, not us. And I'm not really sure how I got off on that tangent, but I apologize. So we'll bring it back into line. Let me go ahead and check the chat here, because you guys know I get tunnel vision and I miss a whole lot of stuff. And I hate missing when people pop in here. 101, what's going on? Donna Divine, Mad Shad, hello. Militant Roots. Milkmaid, hello, sweetheart. The Savage. East Guntucky. Now that's a name. I like that. East Guntucky. Let's see. I believe I said hello to Tiger already. If I missed you guys, I do apologize. But hello and welcome to every single member in the chat. There's 50 of you in here right now, which is more than I thought I'd see tonight, because, so many of the big channels are going live. And I would like to get, hey, Bug Dude, I would like to get you guys' opinions on the whole, the argument between prejudice, especially racial prejudice. Yeah, 101, you got a good point there. Rome fell a long time before anybody realized it. A long time. Those bread and circuses kicked in, and they just kept people blind and ignorant, And it's, we need a new form of everything here, because we're broken. We're broken. I mean, come on, people, face it. We're broken. The leader of the free world falls asleep in the middle of major policy issues that are being filmed live and streamed throughout the world. He poops his pants when he meets the Pope. It's freaking embarrassing. We're the laughing stock of the world right now. We're supposed to be the superpower. Yeah, it took less than a year. Okay, it took less than a year for this to happen. It took less than a year from us this country becoming. I mean, we used to be the most powerful and feared. We had everybody in check. Now we're NATO's bitch right now. You know, it's sad. It's pathetic. I'm embarrassed. I'm literally embarrassed to be an American right now at this day and age. And all this took place in what, 10 months? Literally 10 months. I mean, makes no sense, man. Makes no sense. What you got off the wall? My kids were harassed and bullied. I actually had the cops called on me for spanking one of my kids because she does not look white. Yeah. And that's the thing. You know, you can't even discipline your own kids. Anna W., hello, welcome. You can't even discipline your own kids. And Carrot Top, welcome. And I told the story the other night about when I grew up. I remember seeing my grandmother whip other people's kids in the grocery store. And their parents would say, thank you. You know, back then it was expected. If you went out in public and you showed your ass, any adult around you was going to put you in check. And that was just how the system worked, and it worked great. Look at the system now. Look at how kids behave in public now. Ridiculous. And it's I wish I could say that name. Satch Boogeyman. Okay, yeah, that's not bad. Yeah, we were pretty much energy independent. We were selling oil. You know, hell, we sold rice to China, people. We were selling rice to China. That's like selling ice to Alaska or Eskimos. I mean, come on. Oh, the ideology of America, that's never going away. All right, not the idea. I'm talking about the system. I'm talking about the corrupt supposedly democratic system that we have now. I will always be an American. I mean, people in this country that are true to this country were Americans before the name America came out. That's just a label that was attached to the patriots that said, you know what, I'm tired of the tyranny and I'm not dealing with it anymore. And I still feel that same way today. Tyranny comes to my front door. That's where me, the people, kicks in. And when it happens to enough people, enough me, the people get together, then we get we, the people again. You know, then we can actually legitimately have a we, the people. Right now, it's up to each individual person because, hell, we can't agree on anything. Like, we can't agree on anything. So how in the world, and we can't agree on anything because of what? Prejudice. Everybody's prejudiced against something else. You know, they took advantage of a simple fact that, you know, back through the 50s and 60s and 70s and 80s, news was the thing. I mean, I remember my grandfather, when 60 Minutes was on, nobody was talking in the house. He watched every single episode of 60 Minutes, you know, and my other grandfather, I mean, he watched his news channel every single day. He knew the newscasters' names by heart. I mean, the only person that he would watch to do a weather report was Frank Deal. That was the only man that he trusted. Everybody else didn't know what they were talking about. He was legitimately very loyal to his news station. That was what he watched. And that's transitioned over, you know, now my parents that grew up that way, now they're used to it and they are legitimately bred to trust the news to get information. But the problem is, or to get intel, the problem is the news doesn't do that anymore. It's all opinion pieces. It's all what that network, what that editor wants you to hear and wants you to believe. And we've fallen right into the trap, and it works. I mean, it's very effective. Look at how screwed up the world is. And people believe the shit they see on TV. I mean, look at the Kyle Rittenhouse trial. You've got a prosecuting attorney that is up there actually contradicting the video evidence, saying that Kyle Rittenhouse was chasing this guy through the streets. And they've got all kind of CCTV. Kyle was never chasing anybody throughout the entire duration of the thing. He was the one doing the running. But yet you've got a guy on national live television, a prosecutor, that continually just says, no, that's not what you're seeing. That's not what you're seeing. You think that's what you're seeing, but it's not. Trust me. I know. I know better than you do. It's the same thing with the news media. No, you didn't see. Those weren't boxes of ballots being pulled out from under a table when the building was closed and everybody was sent home. That's not what that was, you know. No. Yeah, or they don't even address it. Like the Supreme Court. Come on. That is your job. Your job is literally to interpret the Constitution and to rule on the big stuff. What can be more important than a presidential election? And the Supreme Court just decides, say, yeah, we're taking the day off. Yeah, we're not going to hear that case. Every single one of them should be fired, and they should lose all their benefits. That means no more pay for the rest of your life. You know, the whole 9 yards. You're out. You're done. It's absolutely pathetic. And I know it kind of gets off topic from prejudice, but I don't know. But what I will do is go ahead and drop the link and see if any of you guys want to come up here and dig a little deeper into it. We're gonna try our best to keep the language in check, and we're gonna try our best not to go down, too many rabbit holes. But this will do the best we can. And we figure this. I want to do that work. I want to be patient here. Let's see if I can get this thing. Can it? I don't know why it won't slow down, but it is what it is. I just dropped the link for anybody that wants to come up. All that good stuff. There we go. Boom. So it'll end to the top, and it's also in the chat if anybody wants to come up and we can bounce some things back and forth. We're not gonna try to go too deep. I'm gonna try not to go way back into slavery. I don't want to hear anything about reparations and all that good stuff. Okay. Because if you're going to pay reparations to slavery in America, then that's going to set a precedence to where everybody needs to be paid reparations for their relatives being a slave, and that's going to include every single living, breathing person on the planet. Every single race has been a slave on at least one occasion, if not multiple occasions, to another race on this planet. So I don't even want to open that can of worms. Something strange. Welcome. Appalachian, what's going on? See who else we got in here. Carrot Top, yeah. Teresa. What's going on, Teresa? Sophia Bell. TT, what's going on, TT1? Yeah, they literally, and you bring up a good point. There was a ruling on this a year, maybe 2 or 3 years ago, because there was a lawsuit about the media not telling the truth, and there was a lawsuit about the media specifically skewing the truth and not being honest. And a judge ruled and said that the media is not required to tell the truth. That's why you notice you don't see newspapers printing a whole lot of retractions when they get a story wrong anymore. Now they're covered. Before then, if they printed something wrong, they could get sued. Now, since the media is no longer obligated to tell you the truth, they just make shit up. Legitimately, this is true. You can Google it and look it up. And the same thing happened with police. This ruling took place a year and a half ago, where the police are not obligated to protect and serve. That's why you don't see that saying on the side of a lot of police cars anymore. They are not obligated to come to your rescue. They don't have to do that anymore. All right, let's pull up a few people and see what we got going on.
What's up, brother?
What's going on, Ghetto? See, we got Ghetto Prepper up here, and we got Georgia Peach coming up.
What's up?
Hello.
Hello, Miss Peach.
All right, we will start with the lady first. Georgia,
we got the echo, brother.
I do, or you do?
I can hear it myself, but I got absolutely nothing on here. Okay, it should be good now.
Okay. How's that? Is that
sounds
better?
Good now. Yeah, sounds good.
All right, cool. So, Georgia Peach, we're going to let you go first since you're the lady on the panel. What do you think about this whole prejudice, racial prejudice, the word prejudice being used? And it is literally an unregulated, fully automatic, unregistered weapon of the woke media.
I honestly believe that it's the mainstream media as well as those in charge. They're the ones that keeping us divided.
Right.
They're the ones that are pushing this. And I've always been taught that, if we stand together, we're stronger. Divided, we fall.
Yep. That is
And that's
true.
exactly how I feel. My grandfather on my dad's side served in the Navy. And honestly, he would tell you he was a potato killer. You know, he served, on ship, but
Right.
he did see a little bit of conflict, but not much. But, we, I grew up, to respect those that have served. And, you know, truthfully, nobody should knows this, but my middle is actually America.
Yeah.
And that's a very unusual name.
Yeah.
But the only reason why I still respect that is that was my great grandmother's name. But like you said, I'm ashamed of this country.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a touchy subject, and everybody in the chat, everybody on the planet right now has got skin in the game when it comes to being racially profiled or being discriminated against or being a victim of being prejudice, and it's it's a touchy subject. Yeah, I mean, it really is. Yeah, and the side of the police cars do still advertise their Facebook and their Twitter addresses. That's hilarious.
Yeah, have you seen the UK's police cars?
Nah, I've ridden in one.
Oh, dude, look at the UK's pride cars. I'm dead serious. They're full on rainbow flags. Fucking, they're the
Oh no.
UK's police cars. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't watch the news a whole lot, man. Every now and then I'll catch it. I would rather just watch the Google feed on my phone with the highlights and go from there. Just because I'm not that watching it on television is a circus.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Well, that's where I found it as well. But I gotta say, I feel like I was racially profiled because you just knew I was gonna jump up here. I feel a
Yeah,
little offended on that one. I mean, well, I don't care if it hurts anybody's fucking feelings. We're all racist to a certain point, and we're definitely all fucking prejudiced. And is that my feedback, dude? I don't know what.
it ain't me.
I don't hear it.
I ain't hear it.
Is the chat getting feedback from me?
I don't hear any feedback.
Okay, I just hear myself echo some when I get a little bit louder. Sorry about that. But man, I had a good point. Go ahead and go to Teresa because I had a good point, but I got a squirrel moment.
Hello, Teresa. What do you got for us? What is your opinion on the subject?
Well, personally, I feel that the government needs to get rid of all that stuff where they have on there, are you black, white, Hispanic, Oriental? You have to check off on these boxes. When I went down to
Yeah,
Florida, you had to put down you were either black, white, red, or yellow. So you was either Oriental, Hispanic, black, or white.
Uh-huh.
And in the
No,
United States, if you have 3 drops of blood, black blood in you, you are considered black, no matter what your complexion is or anything else.
right.
My military records say other, because I have a whole lot.
mine
But
too. All my records says other.
exactly, I'm a human being, and that's what I put on my applications. So it's crazy. We're all human beings, and that's what they need to take that stuff off of there and not categorize people. That's just like categorizing your 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 milk cow from your Swedish cow from your like we cattle or
Right.
something.
Yeah.
It makes no
Yeah, you
sense.
shouldn't. Well, that's the thing. By looking at that form, it's making you number one. The form is insisting that not only do you racial profile yourself, but you're giving ammunition for to be a victim of prejudice. Period. That
Yeah.
none of that should matter. None of that should matter. If you're applying for a job, do you meet the requirements of the job? Or do you have the skills? Yes, I do. Welcome to the team. It's either yes or no. It's not, yeah, but what color are you? Are you a female? Do you plan on having any kids? Do you have both legs? Do you only have one leg? Do you walk with a limp? When you talk, do you have a lisp? You know what I mean? That's irrelevant. You know what I mean? It's absolutely
Exactly.
irrelevant. You know,
And their reasons. Oh, sorry, brother.
No, you're fine. Go ahead.
And their reasons for doing it is so they can build their quotas up for each job. Each job is supposed to have this many. Their reasoning also is certain monies get put into certain programs. If you get this amount of money from this program over here, and there's a certain amount of blacks or whites or whatever it is. Well, actually, not even the whites, because it's all the other ethnics. You guys know what I mean. Sorry, I'm jumbling it up. I just got done working. But it's so everybody else other than white can get all these programs, these minority programs and stuff like that. Well, because you labeled whatever on the piece of paper, that company or business or whatever.
And here's a personal experience, from my past with being a victim of being prejudiced and being a victim of discrimination. And this happened in the military. And don't get me wrong, I'm all for, here's an example of the media using prejudice and things in a completely wrong fashion. When they say that, there was a study done and there's not, there's only, 10% females in the computer maintenance industry. Why is that? It needs to be more inclusive. Well, maybe only 10% of the females on the planet want to do that shit. How come 100% of the people I see picking up my garbage that ride the back of that truck are all male? How come 100% of the people I see working in a ditch, laying lines and laying cables are always male? How come 98% of the people I've seen working on road crews paving streets are males? How come 99% of the people I see roofing houses in the middle of August in Florida are males? Why are they not trying to include females in that as well? Maybe they don't want to do that job. So stop going out there and trying to find an issue. They're going out and trying to find something to complain about. Now, yeah, back 50 years ago, it was a male-driven workforce. It isn't that way anymore. So if you got to go out and say, oh, we found this one job area and there's only one woman and it works in this factory and there's 50 men that work there. Well, maybe she's the only woman that wants to do that shit. Okay? It's not like they advertise on the front door hiring males only. I mean, all right, so by that logic, then there's one hell of, by that logic, I should be able right now, tomorrow, to go to Hooters and get hired as a waitress, right? Why are there no male waitresses at Hooters?
Oh, God save us.
I mean, by that logic, why are there no male waitresses at Hooters? I want to see some hairy legs and those tight shorts and the knot tied in the tank top, By that logic, it works. But here's a true story, all right? This is the main reason why I got out of the military the first time. And this was in the late 80s, early 90s. All right, I'm not bragging or tooting my own horn or anything. But in my job, my specialty, I was top gunner in the brigade. I did a live fire exercise for the late Colin Powell. Met him, talked to him, the president, the whole 9 yards. I was very, very good and very, very accurate at the weapon system that I employed. Top gunner in the brigade. And a brigade, if you guys don't know, is a very large unit of men. But when promotion time comes around, I didn't get promoted. And I raised hell. Because here's the thing, all the people in my unit that were promoted, now you got to understand, my unit was cohort. And what that means is all of us joined at the same time. We all went to basic at the same time. We all went to AIT at the same time. And we all went to our unit, which was the exact same unit at the same time. So there was no time in grade. There was no time in rank that was better than the other. We all joined at the same time. So we were all equal. The problem was come promotion time, for I believe it was E4, maybe. E4. I got passed over twice. The reason that I got passed over, and I asked several questions from some old school soldiers, and it was actually my first sergeant that told me what was going on, because him and I actually got along. He used to get me out of jail a lot. He told me what was going on to basically calm me down, because I was losing my shit. because there were people getting promoted in front of me that didn't even know how to use the system. I mean, they were on a scale of 1 to 10. I was a 9. They were like a 4. So there's no reason they should be getting promoted above me doing the same job. The issue was 2 of them were black and 3 of them that got promoted ahead of me were Spanish. They were of Mexican descent. The issue was when my first sergeant sat me down, he told me, he said, look here, Martin, here's the deal. I said, what's going on? He said, when promotions come down, say if they have 100 slots for the entire brigade for people to get promoted to, say if it's 100 slots for people to get promoted to E4, from E3 to E4, 50% of those are going to minorities, period. And the majority of that minority, 50% of all those promotions are going to go to an African American. And then out of the 50% that's left, half of that is going to go to other minorities, Spanish, Asian American, whatever it is. Then the 25% that's left gets divvied up between the white soldiers. And I lost my shit. And he told me flat out, that's the way it's working now because of they're doing the whole equal thing for everybody. And I'm like, I can understand that in some industries, but in the one industry that should never come to play is national security. The number one industry that should always be the most qualified person for the job is the dude that's pulling the trigger. Okay, it is the dude that's doing the military, whether it be intelligence, driving a truck it doesn't matter. If you're in the military, I don't care if you're a cook, truck driver, or whatever, airplane mechanic, or the guy that pumps gas in the Humvees. It should be the most qualified, most physically fit, most qualified person for the job. Period. And that's not the way it was, and I got out. And then I went back in a decade later. It had changed a little bit, but not much. It was a very uncomfortable situation, and I just, it was just wrong. And that's all prejudice. That's all discrimination. That's all politics. And there's no place for it in the military.
Can I ask you a question on that, brother?
Yeah, man.
And I definitely understand where you're coming from. I completely agree with you. It should be the best, well-trained person for the job. But at that time, you're talking, 20, maybe 30 years from actual segregation type shit, right? Was there enough time? I guess my question would be, was there enough time in between that African Americans or Spanish people or whatever could get experienced enough to get into that position? Or did they...
We all got the experience at the same time. We all went to basic on the same day. We all joined the military at the exact same hour, same minute. It was a cohort unit. We all joined at the same time and went to the same place. Every single person that got promoted above me, I saw them on day one of basic training. So there was they had more experience than me. I was just better than they were. Problem was I was white. Yeah. Problem was I was white.
No, I get that. My point is, what other system would you think would work for because I mean we transferred from an all white everything to, okay, now we have to do all these minorities, however you want to call them.
I mean, Vietnam, World War II, things like that. It was back then. It was the best person for the job. The problem was it was reverse. Back then it wasn't the best person for the job. Back then it was the minorities got the shit jobs. So in my opinion,
what would be a good transition?
Was they went overboard. They went overboard.
That's what I meant.
It should always be. It has never been the best person for the job. It's been the person that was right for the job, for the administration and the system. It's like right now, you've got females graduating Ranger School and you've got females graduating Green Beret School, the whole 9 yards. Here's a problem. I worked at those schools. I was a small unit tactics instructor, and I also played Op 4 for the final phase of Green Beret School, which is called Robin Sage here in North Carolina. I worked very, very close with Tier 1 and Tier 2 operators in my time in the service. And here's the thing. Do I agree with women in combat? If a woman can do the job, and you notice I didn't say if a woman can do it as good as a man. I said if the woman can do the job. By the job, I mean the regulations, the PT regulations, the physical fitness regulations that are established right now. Okay, or back then before there was a female admitted into Ranger School or Green Beret School. Do not change the standards. If you're saying you're going to allow females to go to a combat arms school that has traditionally been all male, that's fine. You do not lower the standards. You can't do that. then
But
you're taking away from the school. If a female can go through that school and do the job, absolutely 100% behind it all the way. Here's the thing. When you lower the standards, and it was the same way when I was a firefighter, they tried to lower the standards for females. Here's the thing. I weigh 240 pounds. All right. If I go down on the battlefield and I have a 110-pound female beside me, she can't throw me over her shoulder and get me off the field.
Yeah.
And that's just my body weight, 240, not counting my gear, not counting dealing with the injuries and the wounds, not anything else. And I'm not saying that every single male on the planet can do that either, but the physical fitness part of it is it should override the whole we've got to do right by the news and make it look good on TV and get a beautiful op-ed with a female graduating Ranger School. Don't get me wrong. I would love to see females graduate Ranger School, Green Beret, the whole 9 yards legitimately without lowering the standards, because when you lower the standards to appease politics or this whole woke culture or the whole Me Too movement, you're weakening the military. That should never be the issue. But now the other problem comes that having a female in combat with male soldiers, okay, I've seen it because when I was in Iraq, and you guys have saw the Jessica Lynch story, there are times in motor pool transportation or different places where females have been in direct contact, small arms fire, heavy machine gun fire, RPGs, the whole 9 yards, and have done the job. The problem is, and there are several people that will back me up on this, the male soldiers that were there, it is a biological imperative that the male tries to take care of the female. And when you're in a combat situation, you can try your best not to give extra attention to a female that's wounded than you would a man, but 9 times out of 10, it's going to affect you. It degrades the performance or the ability of those soldiers to perform. Now, if there was an all-female unit, rock and roll would probably work great. But if you're mixing in males and females, completely different, because the males in the field, we go 2-3 weeks without a shower. Females can't do that. There are legitimate biological issues that will conflict with the mission. That's the problem. That's the only problem. That's the only problem I have with it. Other than that, let's do it. I mean, remember the movie with the bugs, the space movie where they're fighting the bugs and they had women and men and it was all in combat and it worked great. What was it called? Crap. With the bugs, with the arachnids, you know. I can't remember the name of it. Starship Troopers. Yeah. In a fictional world, that would be awesome. But it didn't show any of the female drawbacks. You know, it was all, everybody was equal and they all performed equal. But that ain't true. You know, and it's the same. It's the whole reason why you have physical standards is because there are some members of some men that can't perform to those standards. So guess what happens? They don't get in the military. We don't lower the standards to get those guys in. So why should you lower the standards to get a female in just to look good on TV or make a news story? It's crap.
But before they did it, but before they did it like that, the standards were built around males.
Yes.
So how would it be changed in the right direction? Does that make sense?
You don't change it at all. There's nothing that needs to be changed. We're the most powerful military on the planet, the only superpower on the planet. Why would you change the physical requirements of the force that keeps you in the number 1 slot? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. There's no reason to change it.
I agree with you. I do agree with you. I just think that there's still a debate there that if it was built surrounding men, then maybe there should be something to be done to be able to have the women do, you know, join and do all that. I'm in agreement with you. I'm just kind of playing devil's advocate.
Here's the thing, you know, nothing needs to be changed. Nothing should have ever been changed. If a female wanted to go to Ranger School or wanted to get a Green Beret and they decided to let her do it, that's great. But nothing changes. You know, the problem is now, even during training, you've got to have separate barracks set up. You've got to have separate showers set up. You've got to incorporate that into your field time to make sure there's personal hygiene, because there are personal hygiene issues with females that are completely different than men.
Yeah,
right?
most
you can't deny it is what it is.
Yeah,
that all that has to come into the mix, and having to make those changes, it degrades the combat effectiveness of the unit. I mean, it's on paper. Yeah. It is. Now, I wish that it wasn't, but it is. Does it hurt my feelings if no woman ever went to combat and no females ever got killed in war? I think that would be awesome. That would just be awesome.
I was going to say, I don't believe, and forgive me, ladies, but I don't believe women should be in military, period. I honestly don't, and it's not a
I mean,
sexist thing.
and don't get me
It's
wrong.
definitely it's
Here's the
not. But
thing.
you were right. You were right, brother. We're here to protect women. Not that they
Well,
can't protect themselves,
there are
but
certain
it's
things, all
ingrained.
right, like say, and this is a scientific fact. Females have better reflexes than men do. Females think faster in a stressful situation than men do. It's a biological fact.
Yeah.
That's why females make better fighter pilots than men. That's why females make better attack helicopter fighter pilots than men. Females own the Apache helicopter.
Yeah, and
Men, it's all they
that's
can do to figure
statistics.
that shit out. All right, so
Ghost,
and
that is
that's something.
statistics.
Yeah, yeah,
That's statistics.
Yeah.
that's an actual fact.
Dude, you
Women
got
Yeah,
are
echo
that's
better,
everywhere. I'll be
faster
right back.
reflexes, and think faster on their feet than men. So hey, if you want to make an exception, that's the perfect spot. All right, ladies, you want to go into combat, rock these Apaches. You know, you're working in intel, making the decisions. You know, bottom line, you know, I can't be a power lifter. Why? Because I can't lift 1,000 pounds over my head. I'm not going to make them lower the standards to say, well, you know, that's just not fair. You're bigger than me. Your 1,000 pounds equals my 450 pounds. Now we're fair. Now we're even. No, you don't change the standards. If the standards are set for a reason, because they're successful, they work and they keep us safe. You know,
That's
yeah.
the
I mean,
problem.
you're definitely right on statistics on that, Ghost. Um, I wanted to touch a minute though on the subject, and I liked Ms. Teresa's response because it should not be marked on any paper what race we are. It
no,
just shouldn't be.
at all.
It shouldn't be. You know, my girls. Okay, I have 3 girls total. 2 of them are mixed, and I adopted them when they were 2 and 3 years old. Am I echoing? I hear a
No,
really
not to
bad
me.
echo.
Not
No,
to
I
me.
hear you.
I adopted them when they were 2 and 3, and then I have one other one. But I never in my life seen so much prejudice once I got those kids. I mean, I literally had the police called on me for giving one of them a swat on the butt because she would not knock it off. And they came to my house and everything, and she was standing behind me holding my legs like, what's going on? And she was scared. And I was like, don't worry, you know, baby, nobody's taking you away, because that's what her insecurity was that at 3 years old, she was going to be taken away again to a different home, you know?
Yeah.
And we got to stop with the racial thing. The racial thing needs to just
All right,
get
mute it.
back.
Ghost, mute us all, please. Sorry, off the wall. Mute us all, please.
Do what?
Mute us all.
Yeah, I just adjusted the volume. Am I still at? Are you guys still
It's
getting feedback?
horrible. It's absolute. I went into YouTube and it's absolutely horrible. It's only
How about-
when we talk, not you.
Well, somebody talk and tell me if it's still the same.
Didn't help that I had YouTube on, dumbass. But even before that. But every time we talk, we're echoing, dude. Your microphone's picking up some kind of feedback back.
I heard you. I want to know if it's still doing it. I adjusted it. Is it still doing it?
And
Yes.
when I'm talking, it is, yeah.
It's still doing it right now?
There's nothing. Yeah,
Ghost,
even your show
Just
yesterday.
aim your microphone up more.
Has it been doing this the whole show?
Yes. I thought it was just me until they started talking as well.
And see, it was like this last night, and it stopped.
It's just picking up your voice and probably getting the backbeat on it.
Well, y'all keep talking. Let me know if it slows down or stops or gets any better.
I thought it was me. Now I don't hear it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't hear
Hello?
it neither.
What about with me?
I
No,
don't
I
hear
don't hear it.
All good now, brother.
It's good now? All right, cool.
Yeah, sweet.
Yeah, so your mouth was your face was too close to the mic. It was probably just bouncing back.
I got to get used to all that high-tech stuff.
Ghost, as far as you talking about the females in the military, I agree with you 100%. If a female cannot do the requirement, she should not do the job.
Same as a male. I don't think it should
Exactly.
be classified as male and female. I think you should apply for the school without your name, just your service number. And if you get approved, you show up. If you're female, doesn't matter. If you're male, doesn't matter. The standards stay the same. You shouldn't apply for the school as a female. You should apply for the school as a soldier. You should apply underneath your service number. If you're accepted to go to the school, like i.e., if you pass the PT standards to get accepted into the school, then come on. You know, it is what it is. If
I
you can do
agree.
the job, do the job.
I
But
agree.
being prior military too, Ghost, I did notice that like I was in Orlando. We had a sister company. You know, it was mixed. It was when it first started in the 80s, really, and the women didn't have to perform the same PT as the guys. You know, so that being said, with push-ups and setups and everything else, the PT wasn't even equal. It wasn't even equal.
Yeah. Yeah, like the PT standards for males in the military versus females is different. That's fine. That's completely fine. That's a generic PT test to show your physical fitness for who you are. It's like the PT, the PT standards are different by your age. You have age brackets, and the older you get, the less you're required to do because it's about your physical fitness. It's not about your ability to do the job as an airborne ranger or a Green Beret or a Navy SEAL. It's about your ability to perform, period, as a soldier, to be accepted. That's like the bottom rung to be. That's like I can pass basic training. That's what that is. That's all that means is I get to wear camouflage for a living.
Where I was stationed at on San Clemente Island, right out off the coast of California, that was the last phase of Navy SEAL diving, of the actual camp. If they made it through that, they became a Navy SEAL. So here's just one thing that they could share with us as just regular military people. They actually buried them up to their shoulders at low tide in their skivvies. So how could you take a woman and put her into the same situation? You couldn't do that.
Right.
You couldn't do it.
Yeah, there's certain things you just simply can't do with a female and a male at the same time in the military. How's my volume, guys? Am I loud enough? Somebody said.
Are you able to unplug the mic, dude? Because it is so off the wall that it just keeps bouncing in and out, and not you off the wall. It's ghost stuff.
It wasn't like this at all last night.
Yesterday, your show was echoing the whole time. I noticed.
Turn your volume down, Ghost.
It is.
Turn your Is it way down?
Half the people can't hear you now because it's down too far, though.
Like, can you guys hear me? I don't care about the echo, but can you hear me?
Stuart was saying he couldn't hear you now a little while ago just because the mic was too low.
Ghetto, I have a bad echo. Ghetto has a bad echo. So I don't get that.
It's something to do with your microphone, dude. You've never had these problems.
Coming from the speakers from the laptop, and it's echoing. The microphone's picking them up. But yesterday, I adjusted it, and it stopped. Let me see if I can figure out how I did that yesterday. How about now? Is it echoing now?
Do you have the filter on it?
Yeah, it's coming from you guys. It's coming from the laptop microphone into my microphone. It's coming from the speakers to the microphone. But yesterday I did it and it went away. So I'm just curious if I move it where I had it yesterday, if it's any better. Like right now, is it still echoing? Are you guys echoing?
Yeah.
Yep. Do you have the screen that goes over the front?
Yeah.
Put the screen over.
You need headphones. You ain't got no headphones for the sound?
Nah, I got to go get some.
That's probably going to be the only thing that'll fix it, dude, because your speakers are going to jump onto the mic no matter what.
All right, how about now, guys? Keep talking.
No.
Yep.
Yeah. It's
just one of those. Ghost, don't feel bad. I got the microphone, and then I thought I was playing music, but you couldn't hear the music because it wasn't. You have to play with the speakers and the microphone together. Right. And the only way to do it is like do maybe a little sample video on your own and then re-listen to it and listen to it through the speakers and see what you're getting.
Monique,
I want my money back for this show, man.
No shit,
back.
Monique, you're awesome. Monique put hashtag headphones for Ghost.
Yes.
No, what it is, guys. All I have is the microphone. It's the speakers from the laptop because I don't have headphones. They're
somebody drop him a sticker. Somebody drop him a super chat so he can get a dang headset.
Yeah,
was going
because
to get some today, but I didn't leave the house.
our voice is
Yeah,
going through the
everybody's echoing
speaker
but
and
me
coming back
because
to the microphone.
it's
Yeah.
picking up the my microphone is picking up the speakers from my laptop. I'm just trying to get the
Well,
volume adjusted to
your
where
microphone's black, you're white. You guys got a racial divide.
yeah, it's prejudiced. The microphone's prejudiced.
I don't want no
Yeah.
part of this conversation.
Move your microphone completely away from you, like to where you can't even, like, just throw it up in the air as much as you can.
I
You know what I
already did
mean?
that. I already did
Extend
that.
the arm way out. Oh, okay.
That's not going to do anything because I'm sitting in front of the laptop. The speakers are aimed at me, and the fucking microphone's going to pick it up. So I don't. It is what
Oh,
it is.
yeah. My bad.
All right,
'Cause-
chat. Everybody just start dropping a sticker. I mean, a super chat. He only needs like
try
a
to-
good $50, $60 in super chats. So somebody just hit that super chat for him. Super chat.
I'll go tomorrow. And
There Sherry
I'll go
goes.
tomorrow and get my headphones. Sherry, you ain't going to do that, sweetheart.
Everybody
You ain't
send
gonna
it
do
to
that.
him in Cash App so he gets the money right away and nobody takes nothing out
Bam.
of it. Bam, he'll have it.
There you
Thank
go.
you, Sherry.
That's what I'm talking
Appreciate
about.
that. You ain't got to do it. The only reason I ain't got headphones now is because I was too lazy to go out and get them today. Is all. Because
It's
last
all
night
right,
it worked
Ghost.
fine.
It's about supporting each other, man. And
No big deal.
a few super chats will just help you, and you won't have to put it out of pocket, and you just keep your show going good.
I don't mind. I do not mind. Native, you ain't got
I
to do
know.
that, brother.
Ghost
Bam.
up here begging.
No, I'm begging for him, Ghetto. $5 chat, $5 super chats, and he'll have his headphones tomorrow. Bam.
Dude.
Without,
All
yeah.
right, let's change the subject. I ain't begging for money. I got enough money. I can
All
go
right.
get my own damn headphones.
I know about that.
Off the wall.
All I'm saying, man, is go to Best Buy, pull out your white privilege card. You'll have a pair of headphones just like that. You won't even need to fucking pay nothing.
Now we're talking white privilege card. Damn,
Yeah.
Ghetto. Damn it.
Maybe I should borrow Colin Kaepernick's. I get a new laptop, headphones, a car, a house to live in. Colin Kaepernick's got more white privilege than any white person I've ever met.
Yeah, I definitely agree.
All right,
But
now,
on that
damn it,
subject,
Backwoods, look here. Y'all knock this shit off. All right, no more money for headphones. I'll kill the stream right now. If anybody else donates money for me to get headphones, I will kill the stream right now. I don't need money for the headphones. Damn it, G2.
hey everybody, I would like you guys to go to my channel. I'm doing
All right,
a
that's
live.
enough.
I need
That completely-
headphones. I need a
That
new toilet.
that completely covers the headphones. Guy.
I love our community, brother.
Right. Thank you, G2.
Ghetto,
Thank you,
man.
G2.
You know what? You put on
Monique.
good shows, Ghetto, and there's nothing wrong with it. Just tell everybody thank you. I know I started that shit.
Microphone lives matter. Thank you, G2. Thank you, Monique. You guys, I appreciate it. Thank you. That's plenty. That's enough.
Ghetto's like
All might matter.
Ghetto's more than $5. I'm just saying,
Do what?
all right. Back to the subject.
It's over now, Ghost. Calm down.
Let me throw you guys something else that some people may not understand. So in the ghettos, we have been hearing the same fucking thing that everybody is hearing right now. That's fully amplified with the race shit. That's all we've ever heard in the poorer districts of the United States. It's scary that they're reaching everybody because there's always been some kind of racial thing. But what reason is it amplified now to all the people instead of just being amplified towards the lower economical people? You know what I mean? To me, that's the question. Because it took a long.
Think about it, Ghetto. It's tension. That's what they want. They want tension in every aspect of this country. They want tension.
It's that 1% that want everything us to think about other things than think about what they're doing so they can go ahead and do and make the changes that they want while we too busy worrying about the man next door and everything else like that, and instead of coming together and working together and getting rid of their dumbasses.
Yeah,
Lynn, I saw that. Lynn, I saw that super chat, that super sticker. Thank you very much. I'm just having a hard time finding it. There it is. My whole internet is just going crazy right now. Like it's not even showing the chat anymore.
Teresa, you're so right, though. You're really right on that, ma'am.
Thank you, Lynn.
The more they can distract people, the less we pay attention to what the real issues are, the real issues in this country.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean,
Well,
I don't know. Maybe I guess if I was raised different. I mean, I was born in the South. I was raised in the South. I lived in Jackson, Mississippi. And for those of you that don't know this, there are small towns like Canton, Mississippi, north of Jackson. It's still segregated. Like the public schools are where all the black kids go, and they have private schools called academies where the white kids go. That's a fact.
That's a shame.
That's fucking
But
garbage.
Thank you, Stuart.
It's just like in Dallas, I mean, they said, oh, don't go down there. Man, I went to the hole in the wall, the real hole in the wall. Y'all know the song, The Hole in the Wall? Oh, man, I went to the hole in the wall. I had the best time of my life. The best time of my life. And and no one gave me shit or anything. It was like open arms, and we just danced and had a ball, And I think that the more tension they can put in there for people, it's just the way they're doing it. They're dividing us into so many different categories that it gives them strength. And the more they can divide us, the easier it is for us just to get wrapped up in all the BS and not stay focused or centered on what's important.
Right.
And what's important is people. What's important is humanity. Somebody keeps saying, and they keep saying that it's the current administration. It isn't the current administration. They're all hobnobbing, making $450,000, $750,000 a year, getting their pockets padded. It's the middle class and the poor that are suffering because of what they've done.
Right.
But in the end, it's going to be all of them that's going to be really suffering, because poor folks, we already know how to budget and how to do things and prep and have things ready. So when the shit does hit the fan, we know exactly what to do.
Yeah.
They're not going to know anything. They're not going to know how to survive.
I told somebody once that, when I was a kid, I knew I was poor because we ate raw potato sandwiches to make the potatoes taste different. We ate raw potato sandwiches with mayonnaise and bread. And
dang, y'all have mayonnaise? Oh, hell no.
Yeah, we had mayonnaise.
We used dirt.
We had
shit.
some
We left the dirt on the potatoes, shit, to give a little flavor.
We had 6 of us kids, ghetto, and but I mean,
we had 7. I got you every turn. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
My concern though, guys, is the fact that they're preaching it to everybody now. It's not just one particular people. That's why we know something is absolutely fucking bonkers. And the conspiracy
is the echo still happening?
Yeah, it is. It's not as bad though, bro.
Can you hear me? I turned the mic down a little bit.
Yeah, we can. I don't know about the chat.
Chat, how's my volume in the chat? So I'm slowly turning down the volume on the microphone and trying to find a happy medium between that and the speakers.
It's better. It's way better. But Ghetto, I want to add into that mayo thing. We got those packets free from Burger King.
That'll work. That'll work.
Right, I'm gonna turn.
Burger King got mayo packs.
Yeah, you get those free mayo packs and ketchup. Just slap it on there. You go.
The mayo packs of ketchup.
We ain't never eat there.
Well, we didn't eat there. We just got the free mayo pack.
Now, for some reason, like my friends would come over and stuff, and so basically, I don't know why. I can't ask my mom now because she's gone, but we always had bread, marshmallow cream, and cornflakes. So I'd make these fucking sandwiches, marshmallow cream and cornflakes sandwiches.
Nothing at her.
And my friends would just love the crap out of it. My friend just told me a couple weeks ago, he's like, you know what, man? As an adult, I feel kind of bad. That's all you were eating. I was all excited to come over eat at your house, but that's the only thing you was ever eating. I still don't,
We used to. I remember doing sugar sandwiches.
Yeah,
sugar and bread. Ghost, you're right
Sugar
on that
and
one. Sugar and
a
bread.
little bit of butter and cinnamon.
Yeah.
Man, we didn't have the butter, but we had the sugar and the bread.
We didn't have the bread. We had potatoes and applesauce, and was
Yeah.
thankful for what we had.
Yeah, most definitely. I
Yeah.
think I think the majority of prepping
How's
community
the
has
echo?
been
Is the echo
hungry.
getting any better?
Um, yeah,
Yeah.
I
All right,
can't hear
cool.
nothing now.
Yeah,
A little bit.
I turned the mic volume down to half, and I turned the laptop speakers down to half. So I'm operating at
Oh, okay.
50%.
Yeah, to
It's
us it
way
sounds
better.
better. Yeah,
Yeah.
but I think the prepping community as a whole, I think we've all experienced some kind of hunger in our life, whether when we were kids or when we were struggling to make it as adults or somewhere, something. You know what I mean? It's engraved into all of us, no
Yeah,
matter the
I'm not sure
economic
what's going
status.
on, guys, with my internet, but my chat is completely gone, and it'll pop up for a second, and then it disappears. So I don't know if my internet's fixing to kick off or something. I mean, if it does, I'll
Dang.
come right back. But I don't know what's
Ghost,
going
there's
on.
been issues all over the country today with internet, phone, mobile banking. It started this morning. So if Sophia Bell's still in the chat, she emailed me early this morning. Hey, off the wall, what's going on? And I checked down detector, and it's been going on all day.
See, now the
Yeah,
chat's
they
back
had a
up.
thing. Excuse me. They had a thing on CNN about
Seeing
Comcast
me.
internet is going out all over the country. It's
Yeah.
going in and out.
Yeah. Bring this shit down. Sorry, guys. I hate the interruptions parts, but I'm extremely excited for the internet to go down worldwide. I know
For the
everybody's
last
like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
If you start seeing that as the main weapon that they have aimed at us, and that's why we're not in the fucking streets rioting, then you'll understand what I mean. The internet prevents us from going into the streets to do something about it.
Yeah, here's a thing too. Here's a good concept or a good thought people need to keep in their head when you're thinking about being prejudiced and racial prejudice and this and that and the other. Number one, they're not the same. They can be combined, but both those words can exist on their own. Okay. Number two, if you're going to go out in your daily life and you're going to make a conscious effort not to be prejudiced, that's stupid. Keep your prejudice bone working because it keeps you safe and alive. You should make a conscious effort not to be racial. And here's the thing, race was being racial was like a non-issue until the media starts hyping it again. Now, is there racial stuff going on? Absolutely. Is it ever going to stop? Probably not, because people naturally click up and they want to be around people that look like them, act like them, talk like them, walk like them. So that's probably going to be an issue that we're going to have to deal with for a long, long time. The problem is it's not up to the government to deal with that issue for us, and it's not up to the government to tell us what's acceptable and what's not acceptable. What's acceptable is what the people want and how the people want to be treated and how the people accept each other. And as long as as long as the government stays out of it, we're going to find a way to get along. We were doing just great till they brought it back to the forefront with Antifa and BLM, and that was all government funded horse shit. Everybody knows it. So
Exactly.
the whole racial issue, people can address that. As far as being prejudiced, being prejudging a situation, that's just a smart thing to do. When you mix it with somebody because of their color or because of their religion, that's wrong.
I
Amen,
agree.
brother.
That's true.
Thank you, Jenny. I should narrate for books. Really? I've heard people say my voice sounds cool, but I always thought my voice sounded weird. Maybe I'll
No,
take
you
over for
got
Morgan. Maybe I'll take over for Morgan Freeman when he retires and start narrating.
an old lady feel about you.
Is that right?
I feel comfort.
Is that how I feel? Do you use?
You
Yeah,
make
you.
you make me miss
What
my
you just
grandma
admitted to
when
the
I hear
internet.
your voice,
What you
man.
just admitted to the internet was that you felt me up.
I did. I
But
like feeling old ladies up.
he did, ladies and gentlemen. He started at the feet and he worked his way up.
I pretend to pat their stomach, but really I'm trying to touch the titties. Sorry, y'all.
I know
Yes,
that
I
ain't
mean
happening.
it's a messed up topic. A lot of people are like, man, you're not going to talk about that, are you? Yeah, well, because I'll talk about anything. I don't care. And if it makes people angry, that's cool because it's supposed to. If it's a topic worth talking about, people are going to disagree with you. If I ever get on here and start talking and nobody goes, but wait a minute, or nobody tries to correct me, then I need to pick another topic. Because if I get on here and everybody agrees, no, that's just not the way it works. People should have their own opinions. People should disagree with just about every topic that you talk about. If you're not getting any dissension, then it's not a valid topic to talk about. Just accept it and move on.
Exactly.
Everybody has, different opinions, and we should all respect that.
Yeah.
101 says I got that 976 number. I got a 1-900 voice. 101.
You're getting paid for it. That's funny.
I'm on the other side of the.
Hey, here's
something.
I wasn't going to talk about it, but this is a topic that keeps getting worse and worse. This stuff they're doing to Aaron Rodgers. I mean, dude, really, Terry Bradshaw, you're going to do an op-ed on Monday Night Football or Sunday Night Football about how disappointed you are in Aaron Rodgers. Terry Bradshaw, do you know that you're like useless? You can't stay out of the media because you've got dementia. You can't remember what you said. You went straight racial. You went legit racial and got removed from the broadcast because of your racial rants. And now you got you a biracial granddaughter, which I think is really awesome. But so you went straight. Terry Bradshaw has pissed off more people, American and otherwise, on a regular basis, and it got swept under the rug. And now he's going to come on live TV and try to critique Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers didn't do anything wrong. He was asked if he was vaccinated for COVID-19. He replied with, "Yes, I have been immunized." That's what he said. He didn't answer the question. He said, "Yes, I've been fully immunized." He didn't answer a vaccination question. He answered an immunization question. So it's not his fault. He didn't lie to anybody. The reporter's an idiot for not picking up on it and doing his job better and redirecting it back to the initial question that he answered. Aaron Rodgers did not answer that question. Aaron Rodgers answered with a statement that said he was immunized. And guess what? If you went to public or private schools in the United States of America, you've been immunized too. He didn't tell a lie. He made a statement about something completely separate. The newspaper reporter accepted it and they moved on. All right. And now you've got Colin Kaepernick. Really, he's comparing the NFL draft to the slave market.
Wow.
The NFL draft to the slave market. Yeah. We were giving people at the slave markets, we were giving $1 million contracts for jumping really, really high in the air and running fast. Yeah. Colin Kaepernick, come on. You've had more white. Your entire life has been nothing but white privilege. You were a mediocre quarterback that had a half-decent season. You thought you were a superstar, but you were mediocre. You knew how to throw the ball. That was about it. You got sidelined. You got benched. And then you did a publicity stunt trying to stay relevant in the public eye. You did a publicity stunt. It blew up in your face.
Hold on a second,
you're sitting at home, and you're forced to keep doing these publicity stunts and be this activist for the black community. Here, newsflash for you. Colin Kaepernick, you're not black. If I was black, I would be offended that Colin Kaepernick is speaking for my people. Because, Colin, bro, you're not black. You're like coffee creamer light brown. You're not black.
Did he do it on his own?
Or something? Yeah. He's not black. You can't get further from black than Colin Kaepernick.
Kind of like Obama, huh?
Yeah, and he's speaking, but he's speaking for the black community.
But think of it like this, Ghost.
It's ridiculous.
Sorry to cut you off, brother. I just wanted to catch you before you went into the other direction. So look, what if he was paid to do it to help condition us for what was to come in 2020?
I don't think so, because he's too stupid. He can't keep his mouth shut. He keeps making dumb comments every time the camera gets in front of him. That was a valid point, but he is not intelligent enough for that. And TT1 had a good point. That's what I was talking about. He was adopted, I think, age 5. Both of his parents are white. He's had more white privilege than anybody on the freaking planet. But now he's crawling up that equal, Who would do you want your mouthpiece about racial equity be someone that has been so far elevated above the hood that he can't even spell it? He has no clue what it's like to be a black man. He's white.
I think I would be perfect.
Be white. I mean, that's your mouthpiece. That's the guy that's going to speak from you.
Yeah.
Really?
Hey, go
about that.
Thanks for having me. I'm going to jump off and go in the chat for a while, but I'll talk to y'all later. Great subject, man. Great subject.
All right, off the wall.
Hey,
Go get you
know,
some free mayo.
he made
Go
money.
get you some free mayo, y'all. Go get some free mayo.
Yeah.
See y'all later, man.
All
All
right.
right, take care.
Nice meeting you,
I
Miss Peach. Hi, Georgia Peach.
I
Bye.
honestly feel like a person like myself would be good for that subject matter. Somebody that's been injected into an all black neighborhood, all
Yeah.
culture, and then grew up and then, entered the more white suburban area. And then,
Right.
you know what I mean? Like somebody that's had steps, not putting myself out there like that, but
Right.
it makes sense for individuals like myself, white or black, because
Right.
there's plenty of black kids that grew up in white neighborhoods, then went to the ghetto. You know what I mean? There's so many
Yeah.
ladders of it, but I get exactly what you mean.
Yeah. I
Somebody
mean, it's
with
fake.
privilege
It's
on
fake.
one side should not preach about both sides being corrupt.
I mean, he was a mediocre quarterback. He got benched. He got his feelings hurt. And here's the thing: he legitimately reached out to a veteran. He was actually, I believe, he was a Navy SEAL, a veteran, and told him what his plan was to kneel during the national anthem. I mean, he got advice about doing it before he actually did it. That shows
Wow.
you that it was a publicity stunt. And he asked the vet if that would piss him off. He wanted to know if it was going to hurt his feelings. And the veteran said the same thing I'd say. Nope. Wouldn't piss me off a bit if you kneel for the flag. I mean, all throughout history, people, all throughout history, getting on your knees is a sign of bowing to your master. So if you want to drop down to your knees in front of my flag, go for it. I don't give a shit. You know, you didn't serve, you didn't bleed for it. Why do I care what your opinion is?
Pretty
You know?
much.
So if you want to get on your knees and bow your head, rock and roll. Go ahead. Show your. That's like rolling over on your back and showing your belly to the enemy. Get on your knees. I don't care. I mean, it's the
Bye.
complete opposite of what you should have did. You know, you want to use your celebrity platform for something. Use it for something positive. Not try to divide the country. Just to get you attention and get you a multi-million-dollar Nike contract and get you on the cover of all these magazines and get your hairdresser paid extra to get that fake weave going, that fake afro you got going. That's a really loose afro, by the way, but you're working it as hard as you can. I understand it.
I mean,
'cause
I can't
you got
I
that
can't
time
hate
hair.
somebody for being a millionaire and hustling the fucking country. I
Right.
mean, I
Exactly.
can't hate on him like you. I get what you're saying, and it irritates the fuck out of me as well. But at the end of the day, he's a fucking
Yeah, I mean,
hustler, and
if
he
you want
used
to
his
drop on your
race
knees,
for it.
drop on your knees. I don't care. I mean, and there's plenty of ways for him to make money. If he would have kept his mouth shut, and I'm not saying fall in line, be a good little boy. That's not what I'm saying. If he would have kept his mouth shut and not took it personal and not made it about race, because it was never about race. He didn't get sat on the bench because he was black, because he's not black, number one. He didn't get sat on the bench because he's mixed. He got sat on the bench because he wasn't doing a very good job.
Yeah,
The
I
period.
think
That's
he
it.
would. I think he would have got most of the country behind him by going on his knees. If it was actually not about race and it was about
Yeah.
how the government fucking sends over bombs
That's
over here, sends
that's the
over, you know
point.
what I mean? Fucking
Yeah.
kills the fucking
If it
planet.
wasn't about race, if it was about a political stance or bad policing, an issue that did not involve race, he would have had the entire country behind him, me included. But I
Most
still would have
definitely.
asked him not to take his knee. You know, taking
Yeah,
a knee
yeah,
during the
yeah.
national anthem is just. I mean, it's disrespectful. Is what it is.
No, I,
It's,
I,
it's
I agree on that one.
it's
It would
just
have had to have been
disrespectful. I don't
something
like it,
else.
but I mean, if that's what you want to do, that's your right as an American. If you want to disrespect the flag, that is legitimately your right, as ruled on by the Supreme Court. If you want to go buy
Yeah,
a flag and burn it, you can legitimately do that. Now, if you
yeah.
want to make a real political statement, if you want to be a real man, come to my house and ask me for my flag and try to burn it. You want to burn an actual American flag, and I've made this statement before. If you've never served, if you're Antifa or whatever, and you go to Walgreens and you spend $4.99 on a cheap imitation flag and you burn it like you're making a protest, you're not making a protest. You're just burning some random cloth that happens to be colored red, white, and blue. That is not an
Exactly.
American flag. A true American flag is flown by an American, whether that be over a government building, whether that be on a military installation, whether that be in the yard of a veteran. That is an actual American flag, somebody that appreciates the flag. If you go buy it as a freaking communist and burn it, you're just burning cloth. You're not making a statement. You're just showing that you're stupid and you spent $5 to help force the capitalistic agenda ahead. Thank you. Rock and roll. Burn it all. It's stupid. You want to burn a flag and make a statement? Come get mine. Come ask me for my flag and tell me you're going to burn it. Now
Mhm.
you making a statement. It ain't gonna be the one you want to make, but it'll
Pretty
definitely,
much.
you know. But I mean, what are you gonna do? And see, now I'm all locked up. Oh, there we go. We're coming back. Hey, Lynn. Mike Hawk.
Especially when we got them life contracts. My contract that I signed was not for a day, not for the 10 years. It was for life.
That's why my dad,
Yep.
he used to be one of the biggest NFL fans you ever seen. He was Atlanta Falcons all the way. And then when Colin got started, on everything, Dad completely stopped watching the NFL. To this day, he does not play NFL. And for me to see that, it stops me. Because, my dad's not racist, but he has a certain own belief, for lack of a better way of putting it, and he's like, no, I'm done with it, because he saw that Colin was using, race cards, and they said, I'm not going to follow that, and I'm not going to support that.
I grew up always thinking all professional sports were rigged in the first place. So I never followed anything.
Well, the game Monday night the game last night was rigged. Like, man, was it rigged? It's evidence of it being rigged. You can see it being rigged. Live. If you didn't watch it, it was hilarious. I mean, it was like they made sure that Pittsburgh Steelers won that game. It was obvious. I mean, they were calling penalties that didn't even. Dude, there's a clip on YouTube right now of the referee actually backing up into a player and hitting him with his butt so he could throw the flag. I mean, it was some. It was yeah, and the flag that he threw, because it was so obvious that he intentionally bumped into the player on purpose. He threw the flag, but he called him for taunting when he never said a word. He was just staring at the other sideline from the hash mark, like a full 40 yards or 30 yards away from the sideline. He was staring at him after he made a vicious sack on Roethlisberger. He got up, he did his little karate kick that he's always done since he was in college, and he just stared over at the sideline. Didn't say a word or nothing. And then he goes to back up to go to his time, and as he's running by the referee backs up and bumps into him and throws a flag. Yeah, it was a.
I'm gonna have to check that out.
Oh yeah, it's all over YouTube, man. It was hilarious.
But for real, that's why I've never followed football, basketball, baseball, any of them, because I mean, whoever's going to win, they already know who's going to win.
Have you seen the I mean, the one thing about basketball I like right now is I haven't heard anything out of LeBron James for a couple months, and I think that's awesome. Because the world, according to LeBron James, is a messed up place to live in. But I don't need to hear. I mean, there's some more white privilege for you, okay? I mean, he was a millionaire before he got out of high school. I don't need your opinion on anything, Joe, because you don't know what's going on. You lost your grip from reality when you got your diploma, okay? I mean, you went straight to the NBA, and then look at how pussified the NBA's become. I mean, look at the NBA back in the 70s and 80s, bro. They legit would throw down. I mean, you're talking right crosses, uppercuts, knees to the head, poking each other in the eye, body slams, and that was what you had to do to get a technical foul.
You know? That was when it was actually good, man.
I mean, now if you if you run by a referee, I mean, if you run by LeBron James and you're breathing too hard or you're running faster than he is, he'll fall down, claim you tripped him. I mean, it's literally soccer, on the court. I mean, it's ridiculous, man. It's hilarious, and you make multi-millions of dollars, and every time something happens, like, I want to hear your opinion on the real world. You haven't lived in the real world since you got out of school, man. What are you talking about? Like, I want to hear Robert De Niro get on stage and say F Donald Trump, but saying let's go Brandon is a bad thing. Like, Robert De Niro has ever mattered to the real world. And by the real world, I mean normal people. Like Arnold Schwarzenegger, really? Like, we care what you think? But you honestly think that we do. And look back when the pandemic began. I mean, you had Gal Gadot, and you had all these has-been celebrities singing a dumbass song. Did you see that video? where they're all singing that song. I can't remember what the song was, but it was absolutely ridiculous. And the problem was they were stuck at home. Nobody was kissing their ass. They didn't have paparazzis follow them anywhere for a 72-hour period. They were becoming unrelevant, and they were just all over social media giving their opinions on this. I mean, what's the one that
Yeah.
was the one girl? I can't remember her name. She's always controversial. She was one of the witches. But anyway, she posted a picture, or Twitter video, whatever you want to call it, Instagram, of her laying in bed, right? And she's got the mask on her face, and she's complaining that she's suffering from COVID. But it was the mask that you wear, like with a freaking CPAP machine or a nebulizer. It wasn't an oxygen mask, okay?
Wow.
She's like, I'm recovering to be relevant again. And then everybody just Alyssa Milano, that's it. Alyssa Milano. Go back and look at this video. It was hilarious. She was never diagnosed with it. She just got on there and said she had it. She's suffering. It's horrible with her CPAP mask or her nebulizer mask. And then she's relevant for another 30-day period. And then it's all quiet for her again. It's like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. He's all over Aaron Rodgers. Dude, you played basketball. You don't know anything about football. You retired like 100 years ago. You're not relevant to the real world right now, but now you've got to put your opinion out. Nobody cares, man. That was a decade. That was decades ago, and you didn't go through this decades ago. You're 100 years old. Yes, you got the sleever. So now you have a political, getting the thing gives you a political stance where you've got to go out and dog other people out for their personal choice. Mind your business, people. Mind your business. Worry about your circle. Leave everybody else alone. It'll be a great place to live.
Pretty much.
That's how it should be, brother.
Off the wall, you didn't have to do that, but thank you. Yeah, it's just ridiculous, man. People just need to, you do you, I'll do me. If we can be friends, great. If we can't, it's completely cool. There's 8 billion other people on the planet. I don't need you. There are so many other people I can go offend right now. All right, it ain't just about you.
I really wonder if there's actually 8 billion people on our planet, though. I mean, even if it's no. I'm just saying that as a bulk, like.
Obviously the number's not accurate. I mean, it's nowhere close to accurate.
Yeah, that's what I mean. The census would have to be perfect in every country, and I just don't see that happening. They have to average it out somewhere.
I've never had a person from the Census Bureau come to my door. Ever.
Oh, really? Dude, they did it hard in the cities before the 2020
I've never
shit.
seen a census person, unless they came when I wasn't home or talked to them, like my parents when I was little or something. I don't know.
These motherfuckers came to our door because we just forgot to fill out the paper like a couple weeks before, and it was like, whoa. And then, no, they were pumping it hard.
Princess, I am not bashing him for his glory days and what he did. I can never take anything away from Kareem. But, Kareem, you need to stay the hell out of Aaron Rodgers' business. It ain't got nothing to do with you. That's my whole thing about my circle. See? It ain't got nothing to do with him. Like, if I'm worried about Aaron Rodgers and his health status, why would I go to a retired basketball player? That's like, hey man, my car's making a funny noise. Let me call the guy, the geek tech guy that fixed my computer because my car's not running right. Yeah. What kind of logic does that make? Mind your business, stay in your circle. Trying to be relevant, man. Everybody's just trying to be relevant.
And the news medias and all them are trying to push them to be relevant.
Well, the thing is, it's not like Kareem got on the phone and called the news media and said, hey, I got a statement. I want to talk about Aaron Rodgers. No, they called him, bro. They're reaching out to these people to get all these voices because, perfect example, there's a whole generation of people that grew up with Kareem and that respect every single word that he says. It's like these little teeny boppers. If LeBron says something, they freak out. There's a whole generation of people that Kareem, man, he was the man. So if he comes out and makes a statement, that's more ammo. You see what I'm saying? It's like a nut punch.
Yeah.
They just
oh, for sure, yeah.
Rodgers, they reached out, and there'll be more. I mean, they'll probably reach
I was like
out
that with Bird.
People and maybe his ex-wife. They probably already contacted his ex-wife, but she's not going to rat him out. But it's ridiculous, man. You got to tear somebody down to make a point when it's none of your business. None of your business. Yeah. If the reporter would ask me, have you taken the vaccine? None of your damn business. And right on, no, it's none of your business, my health. I mean, did you take your penicillin for your herpes, your syphilis, and your gonorrhea? How'd that work out? If you're a female reporter, have you been vaccinated? Can I see a copy of your last pap smear? You still making bread down there? What's going on? Did you do the monostat 7? How's that going out? Yeah, I'm coming at you. It's none of your business.
Yeah.
Don't ask me about my health or I'm coming at you. It's none of your business.
Well, that's why some of the stores,
I mean, it'd be different if he was doing something where the public was all up in his face the entire time. He's playing football with 10 other people on his team and 11 other guys on the other team, and they're all going through the same thing. It's not like he's out there kissing people on the mouth. I mean, how many times does he legitimately get hit during the game? 6.
I don't even know who Aaron Rodgers is, dude.
Quarterback.
I just recently heard him.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I just recently heard about him last couple of days, and it was only because of the whole immunization thing.
Yeah, he's MVP, Super Bowl champion.
That's what I'm talking about, Bug, dude. I'll follow that motherfucker all my childhood. Him, Clyde Drexler, Terry Porter.
Larry Bird was the man.
Yeah,
Larry Bird is the GOAT when it comes to basketball. People were legit.
Yeah.
People called in sick to work not to play against him.
That's
he was a beast, bro. He didn't care. He gave no shits at all. Larry Bird he was something. Like, people legit were like, Coach, man, I hurt my back. I don't think I can play tonight. Can somebody else? Yeah, they didn't want to mess with Bird because he didn't care. He was.
Would you, man?
Hell no, he was ruthless. Man. And the messed up part was he would tell you before the game. He would tell you all during the game, and then he wouldn't back up, and he would come back at you again when the game was over, and he did exactly what he told you he was going to do 2 hours ago. He was vicious, man. Vicious. And he, no apologies, gave 0 fucks. He, to this day, ain't never apologized for none of that stuff he did.
No.
I mean,
yeah, there you go.
They went at it. I mean, that was some fighting, and the refs let him go.
But back to the original topic of the show, he had to be, dude. Just like a white dude growing up in the ghetto, you have to be that fucking hard because you're surrounded by a whole entire different culture of people that are gonna fuck with you the whole entire time. So either you grow some balls or you get out of the situation.
Yeah, that's like you take and you go from bullying into being prejudiced. And here's another thing too, and this is a very sensitive topic. There is a difference between being bullied and growing up.
Yeah.
Okay. There's a difference in being bullied and growing up. Are you people hearing me out there? Because just because somebody at school didn't like your child for something, that is not bullying. All right. Kids are freaking mean. From the day they're born, they have no filters. They say what's on their mind when it comes to their mind until they learn otherwise. So to say that your 6-year-old is being bullied in first grade, that's not bullying. That's a 6-year-old talking to another 6-year-old, and they don't know how to communicate. So you need to take the skirt off your little boy and let him grow up. All right, that's not bullying. Bullying is when somebody comes out to the playground and just relentlessly whoops your ass on a daily basis, takes your lunch money, and that's bullying. Being mean, not getting along with your child. There's 30 kids in your kid's class, and everybody not giving him a Valentine's Day card or not patting him on the back or not congratulating him for his participation trophy. That's not bullying. All right, that's growing up. Deal with it. Ridiculous. We got a nation full of just little pansies, and they're going to be in charge. What the hell? I need to immigrate somewhere. I think you can get some prices on some pretty good property down in Mexico.
That's why Ghost. I had a problem with the new military now. When I came in, I didn't have a name or anything else like that. When I went through basics, they could literally kick us in our ass and everything else like that. Touch us and everything. Now they can't holler at them. They can't disrespectfully talk to them or anything. I'm like, they're a bunch of pussies now.
They can't do the shark attack. That was the most effective thing about basic training was the shark attack, and they can't do that anymore. And for those of y'all that don't know what the shark attack is, when you roll up the basic training on the cattle cars and you get off, every single drill sergeant there is in your shit for the next couple hours. I mean, it's nonstop yelling, screaming, multiple people. Your clothes are spread out all over the yard. It's day one of them breaking you down to nothing and then building you back up, and they outlawed it. Is the most important part of basic training, and they don't let
I would have so not made it. I would have so not fucking made it.
I had a blast.
I would have punched him right in the neck, dude.
I had so much fun. I loved it.
I loved it. It was like camp.
It was awesome. I loved it, man. I come out of there, man. You want to talk about being in shape? Because I got a mouth. I was doing push-ups all the time. Like, oof, I was always in trouble. Yeah,
I
I got
used
my
to
first
tie
one
my
in basic training. I ordered Domino's pizza to the barracks.
I used to bend down and tie my boot just so I ain't get in trouble. My mouth was too bad.
Are you guys still echoing, or is it good now?
No, we're echoing a little bit. Depends on how loud we get. The headphones are the only thing that's going to hook you up, brother.
Yeah, I got to get me some headphones. I want some of them. I don't know if I could wear the big ones on my damn head though. I might have to get some of the little ones that just kind of plug into your ears. Ain't that what you said you do, the iPods or whatever they're called?
Some AirPods, dude. Yeah, they're beautiful. But doing like the you'll probably want to get the ones that plug in because you're gonna want to plug it into your mic, and like the ones that Marfugel has, you'll probably want some like that. He talked about, I forgot where he talked about it at, but it might be in his description. I'll look it up, but he's raved about the headphones he's got.
Like, are they
but
like
they're the wired
gaming
ones.
headphones, or I mean, what kind of? I mean, I've seen them at Walmart. They got like 150 different styles and pairs. I mean, which ones do you get?
I don't know. I'm not the man to ask on it, honestly, but I would think wired if you don't want any kind of problems. Like my little AirPods, I steal them from my daughter because I got a little cheap $10 pair, but I know they mess up quite a bit, and they seem to work fine. But
actually, I'll probably go back on Amazon where I got this microphone from and see if the same company does headphones, because that way they would be definitely compatible. You know what I mean?
yeah. But if I were you, brother, I would honestly research like best headphones to use for podcasts on YouTube or something like that, and get some feedback, because there are way too many headphone companies out there.
Yeah, I know.
And you're going to end up regretting them. Yeah, you're going to end up regretting. Basically, cheap is worse. You know what I mean? It's one of those things where money buys you quality when it comes to this type of stuff.
That's a good point. Klingon says, ask Tribe about the headphones. I will.
Yeah, there you go. I honestly, if you've never been used to them, I wouldn't get the ones that like fully cover your ear, dude. It feels like they're sucking your brain out.
Yeah,
And
I hate wearing those. Well, I got tinnitus anyway. Hearing issues.
Yeah,
from the military,
they'll fuck you up.
My
Yeah.
off. Anyway, that's like sometimes you'll see me turn my head when you're talking if the mic's low. Because this is jacked. So with the ear, I don't know. I just hate wearing earphones.
So you don't want the ear plugs neither, because it goes inside your canal almost, and that's why I like these AirPods, because they just sit right there on the little lip of my ear, to where it's not in my ear, but it's not all the way out, and I can hear. Right. And they got good noise canceling. I mean, you guys don't hear a whole bunch of noise around my house when I'm on here, right?
I only hear any noise.
That's what I mean. It cancels everybody out. So at the end of the day, they work real well.
I'll probably just go in the store. Maybe I'll go to Walmart tomorrow and plug up a bunch of them to different computers and see which ones I like.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
We'll see.
They even let you do that anymore?
I'm not going to ask them. I'm just going to do it.
Send that white card on the table. Be like, bitch, I'm here to own this shit.
I know, right? Doing good, Susanna. No more issues. Not lately.
Only when I get up here, he gets a little faint.
Yeah.
It's my voice.
I know, right?
I have a voice of angels to ghost. He be calling me, man, 3 or 4 at night in the morning. Come on, Ghetto, help me get to sleep. Just talk to me, please.
Yeah, Ghetto's one of my triggers.
That's your meditation.
He wants to see your ear pods.
The what?
Crap, I ain't trying to. All right, hold on. Forgive me, I haven't put my makeup on for the day.
What else is new?
Oh, how the hell do I? Well, I only got one eye, so I can't tell if y'all can see the fucking. Can you guys see it, Ghost?
Yeah.
Okay. So basically, they're these, and I don't have the case for it, but it's not the pros, but the. There you go. They just sit, dude. They're so comfortable. They just sit right there on the lip. I can't do the earplug ones because they just suck up your head as well. But yeah, they just sit right there. Doesn't look like they're comfortable, or it looks like they'll just fall out. But honestly, it fits perfect. It really does.
Cool.
But these are my daughters. I stole them from her. And yeah, y'all seen my beautiful house robe. It's cold as
Yeah, you
it's
get her
cold
best
as
life. Yeah, you correct her. Guys don't faint; they pass out.
cold as shit here, dude. No particular reason, just already wintertime.
See, today's Tuesday. I'm already trying to figure out what I'm gonna can this weekend. I waited till like the last minute last week, and I almost ran out of time. I had a brain cramp, and I couldn't decide on anything. Sandwich,
I think y'all should do a breakfast canning stream where everybody does
breakfast,
breakfast stuff.
breakfast can. Yeah, I thought about doing either some more sausage or maybe some bacon or both.
Oh, you can bacon?
Yeah, you can can bacon.
You
It'd
raw
be
can it?
Yeah, raw can it. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do bacon. Maybe do bacon and sausage. I don't know. I'm not positive yet.
You can do it with the turkey bacon.
Yeah, I guess. I don't see why not.
I
I mean,
seriously
I've
need
never
to
had
get
turkey
into
bacon,
canning.
but
it actually tastes pretty good, dude. I mean,
I
I
have.
don't
I've
eat
gotten
I don't eat
spoiled on the new. Have y'all had the new sausage strips? It's where they take sausage and they cut it like bacon. It looks just like bacon, but it's sausage.
that's
It's
scary.
as thick as
I,
bacon,
I
but
don't
it's sausage. It's
I
awesome.
don't think my brain would let me eat that. That's scary. Thinking I'm
Why?
chomping into bacon and taste sausage.
It's good.
No, I cut. I know. Here's my man card, but I cut bacon and sausage and pork stuff like that out of my diet. Now, pork butts and stuff like that. We still eat, but we're trying to limit our pork shit.
Right.
It's a fucking dirty animal, man. And I love meat pig. Don't get me wrong, but just makes at least and that's the weird thing though. At least since 2020, our meat, at least around here, has tasted different, and pork has been the worst out of the bunch. Like our
Mm.
beef, and I mean, we have a lot of beef farmers here in Oregon, so usually we get our beef locally, anyways. But there's
Right.
just been a difference just in our digestive tracts after eating,
Well,
and
once they start shoving all that plant-based meat and bug-based protein meat on the market, there's no
yeah.
FDA regulation, no requirement to where they have to label it plant-based. They don't have to do that. They can just label it as
Exactly.
ground beef.
Well,
It's
yeah.
artificial. They can label
Well, I
it. I
mean,
mean, it's like Taco Bell. Taco Bell's their ground beef's only
ah,
40% beef. The rest of it, nobody knows what it is, but it ain't beef.
I ain't ate that shit in years.
Here's
But
here's my here's the thing. Here's the thing. If somebody can invent a hamburger that's out of a plant that tastes just like hamburger, I will eat that stuff. If it's healthy and it's good for you, and now you're a primary consumer on the triangle. You're not a tertiary. You're primary, which means that is not only is it good for the environment, but it's super healthy for you. If they can figure a way to make the bug protein work and it's all good and it's delicious, I'll probably try it. But don't tell me what I have to eat. Don't take away my
Exactly.
cow and say eat this plant burger. Produce a plant burger, put it on the market. I'll try it. If it's all healthy, it's plant and it tastes the same. Hell yeah, I'll do it.
see that
Black
right
bean
there,
Don't tell
I'm the
me I have to do
opposite.
it.
black bean burgers are real good.
That's the thing.
Are
Just
they
don't
really,
tell
Teresa?
me I
I've been
have to
thinking
Yeah,
eat it.
about
they are.
getting
They're
some
real good.
that black bean burgers from Augustin Farms. I've been actually thinking about stocking me up some because we still have a little bit of Augustin Farms left in the stores around here.
It's just like it tastes like having a burger. It's good. It's real good.
How
I'm
do
gonna
you
have to
can
try
what,
it, dude.
Sophia? You talking about bacon? How do you can bacon?
Yeah, they talk about bacon. See, there you go,
You,
man.
you
I'm
take
telling you,
you take
the breakfast one,
oh crap. What's that paper called, Virginia?
parchment paper.
Yeah, parchment paper, and you lay it out on the counter, and you lay out your strips of bacon flat, side by side. You roll both edges up, fold it over halfway, and then roll it up real tight into a log. You shove it down in the jar, put the lid on it, and rock and roll for an hour and a half. You got canned bacon.
Oh damn.
With the parchment paper.
Yeah, you do it with the parchment paper in there. It keeps the bacon from sticking together.
And that doesn't add no wax or anything like that to the
Nah,
meat.
nah, not at all.
Dang,
Yeah,
that's straight ghetto shit right there.
And the grease.
I mean,
just
it
runs off.
sounds like it.
Yeah, we did a live stream. It's the only canning live stream on my canning party that I wasn't a part of. I took that weekend off, and Jess at Keto Homestead with Jess, she hosted the canning party. So you guys, if you want to watch it, I mean, it's like a 3.5 hour long show, and they can bacon, but it's a pretty
Yeah,
simple process. I mean,
Lucky
Rudy's got a
Dane.
video on it. I'm gonna do a video on it.
Lucky Dane's got a good question there, bud.
Raw. You can do it raw, or you can par cook it. A lot of people did it not like myself. I would probably par cook it. I would probably go maybe 50%. And then because I've never canned it before, I'd probably do it. I'd par cook it maybe 50%, and then I would honestly, you know what? I'd probably cook it almost all the way, and then I'd do some about halfway, and then I'd do some raw pack, can all three, and then try all three and see which one I like better.
So basically, you can't cook it to where it's crispy and stuff, and then
Like I'm sure you can raw pack it, but the problem is you're gonna have a lot of grease in the bottom of the jar.
yeah,
You
that's
know,
true.
so I would think that cooking it to get a majority of the grease out would be a lot better than doing it raw. But I could be wrong, especially if you've got an air gap at the bottom of your jar. Maybe if you when you shove the bacon in there, you leave like an inch at the bottom where nothing's touching, that the grease can just go to, instead of it just soaking in the bacon. But I'd probably par cook it to try to get rid of the grease.
Huh.
But
Yeah, Susanna said they cooked it most of the way first.
turkey don't have that much grease.
And Virginia Roots just posted the link to the video with Jess.
Hi, guys.
I think that. Oh, okay, Georgia. Sorry, you're pretty low. Is probably why we couldn't hear you.
Sophia Bell says,
Go.
thank you, Ghost. My mind is legit blown. I know what I'm going to get into. I guess, does that mean you're going to be canning with us and you're going to be canning bacon?
Yeah, Georgia Peach is leaving. Well, she was trying to say bye to you, Go. She probably couldn't hear her though. Her
sorry,
mic was pretty low.
I apologize.
Oh, you're good. It's because she's so low, I think. Have a good night, Georgia Peach.
Good night, Georgia.
Good night, Georgia.
I think turkey bacon would be the same exact way, Teresa, because I understand what you mean. The texture and stuff's different, and there's less grease. I would just do it the same way that they're talking about,
Yeah,
though.
if the turkey bacon's got a whole lot less grease, you could probably raw pack that. But I would definitely cook.
Yeah, that's what I would do. I would raw pack it.
Yeah, it's got way less grease.
It's different turkey bacon too, because I don't use that thin ass turkey that you can see through. I use real turkey bacon.
Sophia's canning right now, but you'll be present this weekend. Are you going to come up and can with us live, Sophia? And what are you canning right now?
I really got to get into it.
Use bacon grease for pecan pie crust. Yes, sir.
Ugh. I'm just in the pecan pie.
Stewart says raw pack is a preferred method. That's with your bacon, pork bacon.
Could y'all tell me what pecan pie tastes like? I've honestly never even tasted it. It looks so nasty that I just never tasted it.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good. Especially if you like nuts, pecans. It's so good.
I do, but I just don't correlate them with pie. So it just like with banana cream pie and stuff, I never do the walnuts or brownies. I never do the walnuts, but I like I know I'm gonna get ringed for this, but I like nuts by themselves. I don't like them in bake.
Wants me to confirm if Teresa gave 101 a shout out.
Yes, I did.
She said yes, she did. Look at 101 trying to stay relevant. You just like Kareem.
I would never forget 101.
Sophia, I live in a bubble. That's what happens when you don't pay attention to news, sports, anything. Now with the whole pecan pie, I just don't correlate the two together. I don't correlate nuts and pie.
101 says when I run out of deodorant, I use bacon grease.
Well, you won't be coming around me, especially if it's pork.
She gonna eat your arm off, dude. No.
No, I won't. I don't eat pork. I'm allergic to it.
Oh, hey, that's a good way to get away from pork. Like I said, me and my wife are just trying to stay away from the pork itself.
I'm allergic
Yep.
to pork
I
and
hear you,
fish.
Cherokee. Well, boys and girls, we're at about the 2 hour mark, and I haven't had supper yet, so I think I'm gonna go ahead and call it for tonight. It was an interesting topic. For some reason, I don't know why, but I just could not stay on topic, man. I kept taking a left hand turn and a right hand turn and falling off into rabbit holes. But I kind of had a feeling that was going to happen because that was such a wide open topic. But
Yeah,
it is what it is. We'll probably end up coming back to it here one day in the future. So it is what it is.
I think you did
Lucky
good, brother.
Dame, Lucky Dame. I made some. I went and got a jar of spaghetti out of the basement. Jar of the spaghetti that I canned about 3 years ago. So that's what I'm eating tonight. 3-year-old spaghetti. So thank you, Teresa. Thank you, Ghetto. Thank you, Georgia Peach. Uh,
No problem.
Off the wall. Who else was up here? I can't remember. Hopefully, I
Georgia
got everybody
Peach,
that was on the panel.
Teresa, off the wall, and myself. There was nobody
Okay.
else. Yeah.
Well, thank y'all for coming up. Thank you, everybody in the chat. Thank you to my members. You're awesome. Great content. Look forward to hanging out with you guys Monday at 6:45 for the members only live. Um, thank you for the awesome mods. Roots was just kicking ass and taking names tonight. She was slinging links like nobody's business. And tomorrow will be Trust. Tomorrow should be a good one. Tomorrow's going to go deep.
Oh
And then
yeah,
Thursday
that
we
is.
got time travel, and Friday we got AI. Sophia Bell
Oh,
says, "What
get
happened, man? This chat is pissing me off, man. It
get
freezes up
those
and then it
headphones,
jumps."
brother.
Thank you for the stream. I'll come up this weekend if you want me to. Finishing up my 10 pounds of taters. Nice. Yeah, we definitely want you to come up on the panel, Sophia. Roots, you're my witness. I see you. I know you're still here. Sophia's coming up with us Saturday. So we'll see you then. But thank you, everybody in the chat. I'm going to go ahead and stick a fork in it and go grab me something to eat and watch some other channels on YouTube and see if I can learn some more stuff. Hopefully, I'll see you guys tomorrow night at 7:30, and we'll do this again. Y'all have a great one.
You too.
Appreciate
Good
it, brother.
night. Take care, Prepper 101. Don't miss me too bad.
And everybody head over to Angry Preppers right now.
Angry still up?
Yeah, he's still up and live.